Hello guys, welcome back. So now here in this session, we are going to configure account payable. In previous session, theoretically I explained about, I've given some explanations about this account payable and all. Now here we'll do the configurations. So if we talk about account payable guys, let's suppose, so what I said here, see for example, since we have set up 2Z account right now, so say for example, that amount right taken, so whatever the corporate building is there on rent. So every month we are going to receive a rent invoice from vendor. So in that case, let's suppose vendor name is XYZ Builder. So now what is happening guys? So we are receiving a rent invoice every month. So your rent account is going to be debited with certain amount, and this builder, the XYZ Builder, that is vendor account, is going to be released. This vendor entry which is supposed to be posted in SAP, right? Now this rent account is a GL account, built up on GL master. So this GL account already we have created, right? Apart from this, if any area is not GL creation is required. Say for example, even Tata Motor is taking audit services also from a particular audit company. So that audit company is also supposed to be created as a vendor. First of all, that audit company is going to be treated as a vendor. And this audit fees GL is also going to be debited, and that audit form is going to be credited. So if you have to set up audit fees GL, then pretty simple guys, we can use FS level 0 transaction code. Okay, and then we can set up this GL account. But do we need to do any configurations before the creation of GL master? So I'll tell you guys, no, it is not needed, because whatever configurations are required yet, suppose chart of account group, number it is going to be given against account group itself. So whichever configurations are required is already done. We have already done with the configuration part, right? So configuration, every time it is not going to happen, it is one time certain type we have already done. Now if you have to create 100 GL, you then create 100 GL, 200 GL, there's no reasons. Now likewise, so here GL account is getting debited, GL account is already created, or else if needed, we can create, but there are more GL accounts also. What about this vendor account guys? So this is also a master data. This is also a master data. So here, vendor account means what guys? Vendor account means here. This is also supposed to be set up into SAP. So before setting up a vendor account, we need to do certain configurations. What are those configurations guys? That step by step, I'm going to explain. So this is vendor master. So before setting up vendor master, we have to do certain configurations. And what are those configurations? Let's have a look here one by one. So first of all, this is already explained. First of all, we have to define vendor account group. We have to define vendor account group. Now, what is the use of this account group, guys? I'll tell you. If you are able to remember during creation of GL master, also we have set up account group. So account group means what guys? Group of similar nature of master data. In case of GL master, group of similar nature of GL master. In case of vendor, group of similar nature of vendor accounts. Right? And the reason important thing is, it controls the fields which appears during creation of master data. In the sense, at the time of vendor master creation, whichever fields are appearing, that is going to be controlled by vendor account. At the time of creation of GL master, whatever fields are appearing, that is going to be controlled by GL account group. And the same thing is applicable even in case of customers also. That is going to be covered during account receivable. Okay. Right now we'll talk about account payable. So here, first of all, we have to set up account group. What does it control, guys? So account group controls the freeze of vendor master. I'll show you guys. Let me log in first, and then I'll show you how it is going to control. Now, set up one account group here. So how do you set up account group, guys? Look back here, the transaction code is OBD3. So here I'm going to use this transaction code. So OBD3, press enter, click on new entry, and it's account group. You have to give a 48 code here, right? So I'm going to set up one account group itself, right? And this one, I'm going to give you a code as a TM00 so that it will be easy to remember. Our company code is just a TM00 account group will some way to get. And here let's suppose data motor, account group. Vendor account group also data motor itself is great to just give you and say it. So now here I have created the account group, one account group. Look at your double click on general data. Okay, so here freely status. Whatever though, if you are going to set up the vendor master, at the time of setting up vendor master, the entire, we are going to give certain inputs over there. So whatever the inputs are going to be given, guys, entire inputs are going to be segregated into three parts. That is like general data, company code data, and purchase data, purchasing data. Double click on general data. Look at here. These all fields are there, guys. Okay, in general data, what is happening? The fields related to name, address, PO box details, phone number, fax number, email ID, everything is going to be part of general data. So if you have to, how the control is going to happen, guys? Let's suppose this name to field is not required. You can suppress it. Name one is like the requirement. You can click here. Optional base anyway, by default it is optionals, right? So out is like you want disclaim is one, the field is going to appear over there, but it will be there in display mode only. Right? This is what it is. So this is how the fields already, this is covered in jail master, guys. So hope you guys are able to understand. Now, so what I have done, I've created vendor account group, save it. What next, guys? The next one is create number range for vendor account. So whenever we are going to set up a vendor, let's suppose this XYZ builder, ABC audit firm, right? All is any, whatever the number of vendors are there, right? So whichever vendors are there, first of all, that vendor supposed to be set up in SAP, right? Now, so before setting up that vendor account, we have to do some configurations, right? And whenever you're going to set up a vendor account, when the, let's suppose XYZ builder is going to be set up at SAP, SAP is going to generate a vendor number. Let's suppose this is the vendor number. So how system is going to generate this number, guys? So for that, you have to define a number range. It means we have to have in control that whatever vendor numbers are getting generated, those number belongs to this particular value itself. Let's suppose 1000 to 1999, or is any other range you can give. Okay, so here, if you guys look here, I'm going to give small range only, 1000 to 1999, 2000 to 2999. Why? Because as I told you, that small number range means it will be easy for you guys to remember your vendor number. But in real time, this range will be, the length of this range will be like post this 1000 to 1999, right? In real time, it is going to be 10-digit number. Okay, 1000 to 1999, this numbering is going to be consumed very soon. Hinted. So now there might be a question that what will happen if we consume, if the entire number in itself is going to be consumed. So I told you that this 1000 to 1999, I'm going to give during here in my configurations. But in real time, once you become a consultant, and if you have to define a number range, we are going to give a huge number, like 10 digit from range is going to be given. It is going to be there in million, right? For a particular company, how many maximum value could be? 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. This was the number of vendors, even if it is a very huge organization. And that too, they're having the multiple businesses in different countries out there. In that case also, how many vendors will be there, right? So the number which we have given, that is there in median. So it is impossible to consume the entire number during even like 100 years and so. Such kind of range is going to be given. Can you get miss huge range? So here for your practice, I suggest you have to give 1,000 to 1,999. Okay, if it is not defined by anyone, if it is already defined by anyone, if somebody has already given this number rate, then better to use this number rate itself, or else you have to define a different rate. I'll show you. So here, let's suppose you click on that button. Okay, now how we divide number rate XK N1. We call it total. Now look at here, right? How many number range have been defined by people already? These many number range are already defined by people. 7. If I'm going to give 1,000 to 1,999, let's suppose code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All is given, right? I'm going to give alphanumeric. Like here I'll give E1. Numeric code they have given. I'm going to give alphanumeric. Okay, so any code can be given, guys. Numeric, alphanumeric, alphabetic, whatever it is. And here from number is 1,002, 1,999 and press enter. If you press enter, look at here at bottom, system is saying interval without overlap. It means whatever number range I have created. If you come down, okay, this is A1 here. So whatever number range I have created 1,000 to 1,999, it is overlapping somewhere. Now where it is overlapping, guys, so push a bit here. Somewhere it will be, somewhere somebody had already defined this number range. So you have to find out, guys, somewhere it is going to overlap. So 2,000 to 2,999 somebody had defined here, right? Likewise, even 1,000 to 1,999 is also is defined already. This is why. Look at here. Now this is our only, right? Somewhere. Anyway, it's going to take. Look at here. Like P1. Somebody has defined this. 1,000 to 1,999 is already defined by somebody. So that is why what is happening, guys. It is going to be. System is saying that this is overlapping. See, overlapping doesn't mean that entire range itself is going to match. Even in the single digit, if the single number is also going to class with other number range, then also you are going to get the error. I want to define this number range, whereas somebody has already given 1 to 1,000. Somebody has already given this number range. And I'm going to define 1,000 to 1,999. It means the first number 1,000 it is classing here with this one. It is like, it is here in this range also 1,000 is there, and this range also 1,000 is there. So again, system is not going to allow you to set up number 8 saying that your number 8 is overlapping. Why? Because this 1,000 is already given here. So how come it possible that you're also going to be started from 1,000 itself, right? So you have to start from 1,001. This case system is going to allow. So even if one number is also going to be part of a different number, in that case also we are going to get such kind of message that interval without overlap. So in that case, what is happening, guys? In that case, system will never allow you to save your. If I'm trying to save it, look at here. Look at here, system is not allowing. Interval without overlap. So what will happen, guys? If you're able to define your number, it's okay. Or else need not to spend too much time that, okay, let me find a unique number. It's going to take time. Instead of, spending time on this number in, because there is no much logic at number rates, right? Simply, you use existing number. Let's suppose somebody has defined already P1. Why not they use P1 itself? Right? So I'm going to use number 8. P1 itself. Now what I've done, account group. Account group I have defined. That is DM double 0. My number 8. Now I'm going to use P1. Right? What next? The next one is assign this number 8 to the vendor account group. I told you guys, number 8 is having certain control. Sorry, account group is having certain control. What control, guys? Account group controls the fees of, let's suppose, we are talking about vendor account group, right? So vendor account group controls the fees of vendor master. And it also controls the number 8. How the account group is made to control the number 8, guys? So look at here. Let's suppose we have defined a number 8 here in XK mode, right? And this number 8 is going to be assigned to the vendor account group, right? Will be, I guess, use one it, but let's suppose this P1, just assume that P1 has been defined by you only. Or even if you're able to define a new number and also it's okay. So I'm going to assign this P1 against your account group with Batu, Pandit and Gold called the I guess. Okay? And then here, the M0 is your growth. So P1 is the number in within, which I'm going to use. Save it. So now what is happening is, our system is, the whole account group controls the number 8. So look at here, if you have to create a vendor, we are using transaction code hex-01. Whenever the vendor is going to set up days, vendor is going to set up that. I'm going to show you practically again, but just for the clearness. Company put TM00, okay? And here, okay guys, now whatever the configuration document how it has to you that like I have given TM01. The company code is TM01, so don't be confused. It's like it has nothing to do with like you cannot say like okay here in configurations I'm using TM00 and then keep that. So here the recording I'm using TM00 and in configuration document it is TM01. See, it could be anything, company code, whatever I have given. This is just given for the example, right? When you're going to set up your company code, you can use a different code. You can use like X01, like X001, or is XM01, or is XA01, right? ZA01, ZB01, anything can be used. So company code here. You need to understand that the concepts behind all this configurations and all company code could be anything. I'm using Tata Motor, that is why TM00 or TM01 or TM02 or TM05, it could be anything. Okay? So, now here, while creating a vendor, first of all, we are going to give the company code. It means this vendor is going to be set up against which company code is TM00. Now, account group. So, account group, let's suppose, my account group is going to be so TM00. So look at here guys, while setting up the vendor is going to be set up against what? It is going to be set up against a particular account group. So if you give all the details at the moment you are going to save these settings, in the sense the moment you are going to save this vendor, then what is happening? System is going to trigger the account group of system is so it's like against which account group this vendor is getting created. So system pound, the account group is TM00. It is already given here, right? And against TM00, OBYC, the system is going to search against TM00, which number is assigned. So it is P1, right? Then again in background system is going to search against this P1, which number is there. Right? That is XK N1, right? So against P1 I have given date. Against P1 it is 1000 to 1999. Somewhere it was there at bottom. 1000 to 1999. So this is how system is going to trigger somewhere it is. This is how system is going to trigger this number 8. This is how system is able to trigger the number 8, right? Now, so what I said. Account group controls the fields of master. At the same time, it controls the number agent. So, because number age, whichever we have created, is going to be assigned against account group itself. right? And vendor master is going to be set up against account group. So first of all, system is going to trigger the account group with the help of account group. System is going to trigger the number range pool, and against that number range, from that range, system is going to generate the vendor number. This is what the logic. Now look at here, define tolerance group for vendors. This is also base. This is also a setting here, tolerance group we have to define for customer vendor as well. Previously what we have done, previously we have defined a tolerance group for users and GL. The same logic is there to define this tolerance group for customer vendor also. Let's suppose I have posted an invoice. Invoice, what have 1001, and vendor payment is going to be delayed. So we have made payment in round figure, let's suppose 138. So there is a difference of 1 rupees. Right? So now here, you know that every debit must be having equal credit. Right? Every debit must be having equal credit. The lower it is, then only it is way too. So now here, what will happen, guys? Now, so okay, so here there is a difference of 1 rupee. So here what is happening, guys? If the differences are there, then system will not allow you to proceed further. So we are going to define a tolerance limit, a tolerance loop per customer vendor also. Okay? Then we are going to define, like, we are going to specify a particular amount that, okay, how much differences can be accepted. Either 5, 10, 20, 100, 200. So this is going to be, you need to explain the concepts. Your client is going to tell you, okay, till 20 rupees is going to be accepted. Or till 20, whatever your currency is there, 20 USD or 20 rupees or 20 euro, whatever the currency is there, they'll say that till 20 or 30 or 50 or 100, this much differences are going to be tolerable. So this is what the logic behind defining the tolerance group. So I just do one thing. How we define tolerance group, guys? You get here OBYC is the panic support. So here, define this. Let's do one thing, guys. Use transaction code OBYC and define a tolerance group. Okay, so here company code, I'm going to give TMW itself. That's okay. Now, don't give anything in the group field. If you don't give anything here in group field, then what is happening, guys? This tolerance group, blank tolerance group, is applicable to all vendor by default. Okay, if you're going to give a code, then at the time of defining this vendor master, you have to assign this tolerance group to the vendor master, then only it is bound to work out. But here, if you don't give any code, then what is happening? Without assignment itself, system is going to consider this tolerance group. Okay, so now here, keep it blank and give it a Steffens. This raise you did nothing to worry about. Once there'll be a topic called automatic current program. There I'm going to explain the logic there, and so we are having that the reason step you'll be having that, so better not to give anything. Here we are going to give, then suppose, gain and loss. Let's give this amount only. Okay, and save it. Control it. Well, nothing else I'm going to give, right? Apart from this, whatever the sticks kept payment terms is there. That is not explained yet. Payment terms I have not explained yet, so don't worry. Now, so here, I'll just do one thing. This gated loss means what? See, for example, in case if the invoice is 1001, we have made payment of 1000 itself. There is a difference of 1. This is part. Gained. At the same time, if it is triple-laid, in that case, also we are going to be in 1000 and there is a difference of 1. This is your loss. Right? So being in loss, that is what we have specified. Now, here, what next? The next one is creation of reconciliation account. Try to understand, guys, the concept behind the creation reconciliation account. It means like what is the concept behind creation of reconciliation account? But I will explain. Now, okay. And here I have written post vendor invoices. First of all, after that, we have to create the vendor margins, right? Let's create a vendor margin, right? XK01. Save it. Now, so here, creation of reconciliation account. What is the use of this reconciliation account, guys? Why are we going to set up this reconciliation account? I'll explain. Try to understand the logic, guys, because most of the people, they know how to set up the reconciliation account, because this is reconciliation account is nothing but a GL account itself. How to set up the GL account? It's quite easy. What is the logic behind creation of this this GL account, guys? Why do we set up this GL account? That I'll tell you. Say for example, we are having distributed systems. So we are having multiple vendor. Okay? Multiple vendor like A, B, C, D, E. We all have the vendor, right? Okay? These all have the vendor. Against every vendor, certain invoice is cost sharing. All these invoices are due only. Okay? All the invoices are due. Now, let's have a look. So guys, we'll do one thing. Now here, so this is our vendors. Okay. And here this is invoice amount. Now, this is invoice amount. And then, so if you talk about this 5,000, this amount is not paid yet to the vendor. This is like which sum of months are there. This is the payment is not made yet. We have just posted the invoices. Right? So these all are payable. This 5,000 is payable against this vendor. Right? Likewise, 4,000. F, Z, connections. So these all have the vendor. So now here, but individually, if you talk about the individual vendor, like what is the payable of E, like 2,500, which we have to make payment. Right? This is our liability, this is our payable. If you have to calculate the total payable, okay? If you have to calculate the total payable, what is happening is simply we are going to 3,600. So 26,000 is the total payable amount. Right? 26,000. That is the total payable amount. So what will happen, guys? Now, we do one thing. Okay. So, here, 26,000, how I have calculated, guys, manually I have calculated since we are in Excel sheet. I'm using Excel sheet. But in a city, if you have to calculate, then you have to check the vendor balance of, like, the balance of this vendor, then the balance of this vendor, then the balance of this vendor. So manually, if you are going to calculate, guys, how much time it is going to take. Because if, let's suppose, if any organizations, they be having thousands of vendors will be there. Say, every time, like, if one by one you are going to check the vendor balances, and then if you are going to get the consolidated figure, then how can it be possible? If you are going to publish the financial statement, we are not going to show in financial statement, like, you have to show the liability. So liability is, like, let's suppose if you are going to count, like, what is the liability is, like, your, whatever loans are there. right? That is your liability. Likewise, and multiple other things also will be there, but likewise here, whatever the account payables are there, this is also our liability. You must have to make payment of 46,000 rupees or whatever your currency is there in that currency in future to the vendor. So this is your payable, this is your liability. So how to calculate this total liability, guys? So individually it is not possible. Individually it is not possible to calculate. So now SAP has given a very simple concept here that create a real account. That is called reconciliation GL. Okay? Create a real account here. Okay? And what to do? Here suppose a single GL I'm going to play the GL code I've given 2000. This is the GL I created for account payable. This GL is going to be at the time of creation of vendor A, you give this GL account. Likewise against every vendor. I'm going to use this reconciliation GL is going to be it. It is going to be linked. So here, if you posted, let's suppose invoice worth of 5,000 rupees against this vendor, then this amount is going to be updated against this GL accountants. Likewise, this amount is going to be updated against this vendor. At the same time, this GL account. Likewise, the same thing is going to be repeated against this vendor and against the same GL account. So what I said, if you have to calculate the total, let's suppose if you have to calculate the total payable, right? If you have to calculate the total payable, guys, how it is going to happen, how the calculation is going to happen. So instead of calculating manually, now we are going to have a look on this GL account, this GL balance itself, we are going to check it. So here you can going to check this GL balance, you'll be happy. Well, system is like to throw out this 36,000 be the total payable. Heck, so this is how it is quite simple to get the total payable, guys, instead of checking one by one better balances. If you're going to check this GL balance, you'll come through that, okay, the total payable is 36,000. This is what the logic. And the more explanations and the more understanding you guys will be having, there'll be a topic called financial statement version. So what is the use of that? What is the statement version and how to set up that is going to be explained in details later in the later classes. Okay? So there again you'll be able to understand the advantage. Okay, in financial statement person also simply we are going to link this GL account. And if you are going to link this GL account and all these balances are going to be updated automatically. So now within a fraction of a second the entire table is going to be it is going to appear with it. Again, like if you're a big nerd, first time you're doing this practice, then you guys will not be able to assume like what I'm trying to say here. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Just you wait for back session in the sense like in in upcoming session, this financial statement version I have it's made. So there you will be having this understanding. Right now we are talking about account payable and that too. I said what is the use of reconciliation GL, right? So reconciliation GL, what is happening guys, with the help of reconciliation GL, you are going to get the consolidated figure of total payable, right? This is what beneficence you can see it. If somebody is going to go ask like, what do you mean by reconciliation account? And why do we set up this reconciliation account? If we don't set up, then what will happen? So guys, you should be believing the logic. Everybody knows that reconciliation account is the deal account. Still lots of people are going to reject it because they don't know the logic. Right? So this is what you have to see, that reconciliation with the help of reconciliation account. What is happening? We are going to get the consolidated figure of total payable. Okay? And this reconciliation account is going to be linked with financial statement version that I told you like that is going to be explained in upcoming sessions. That is there in upcoming sessions. So what is the use of this reconciliation account guys? Getting a consolidated figure of total payable with the help of reconciliation account itself. If reconciliation account is not there, then if you have to count the total payable, then one by one vendor balances we are going to check and then we have to count. It may take entire day also, 2 days also, 3 days also, depends upon the number of vendors. Right? So this is what the use of reconciliation account. So what we have to do, we have to set up our reconciliation account and so create our reconciliation account. So now how to set up this reconciliation account, guys. Just do one thing, slides and FPETs, double zero, and take up the reconciliation account. So I think it's logged out. In online server, guys, what is happening if you don't perform any activity for 5-6 minutes or 4-5 minutes, then automatically the activities might be broken. So in that case, you have to log in once again. So let me log in once again, guys, because the connectivity got broken. So let me log in here. Now, so here, how to define the reconciliation account? And I told you this is a zero account, right? So use FS00. With the help of FS00, we are going to define the reconciliation account. Now, reconciliation account base, what is this? What is the name of this reconciliation account, guys? You can give the name like account payable. So account payable, whatever account payable is there is your liability. So under which account group it is going to be set up, guys. We have already created an account group called liability account group. If you are able to remember the number range against liability account group, then you can use the first number, and if you're not able to remember, in that case, I'd suggest you to use OB default transaction code so that you guys will come to know. Okay? If you're going to use OB default, then here you'll come to know. Look at here, TCOA is your chart of account. So look at here, under this chart of account, multiple account group we have set up in that itself we don't get to have a liability account group also. Right? Liability account group. So what is the number in behind that? Against this liability account group, it is 2000 So now here what is happening, guys, is set up a zero account, click on create, and we have the first number 2000. Select the account group that is liability actions, is a part of balance sheet, right? And here, account payable, I'm going to get, and then here, the same account payable here, so I'm going to give you under control letter, tap on control letter. Here nothing need to be done, guys. Simply you need to select here the reconciliation account type. You need to select better. Okay? And line it up display. Here sort key anything can be given, guys. I'm going to do speed. But please do on. This sort key logic is already explained, guys. Don't be confused. And here, let's suppose we listed as new. I'm going to give C001. Okay? And save it. I made a mistake, guys. Here, field students new for reconciliation account, always Z067 is given, right? SAP, you have to use that one. Okay? Now, this is what the reconciliation account you have to give. So what is happening here, this reconciliation account are created. Okay? Reconciliation account are created. Now, what to do, guys? Then what next? The next one is liabilities. So we have done with the configurations part. Whatever the configurations are required to set up a better account, those configurations we have done. Now what next, guys? The next one is creation of vendor master. Okay, so next is I'm going to show you how to set up a vendor master. So that's all in this lesson, guys. Next is how to explain vendor master setup.